Dear students, I am Dr. Murtaza Ansari. Today's topic is tongue. Tongue is a taste organ, highly muscular and mobile. It is free, tip and body is free, and base is attached with the floor of the mouth. It is foldable and fixed at base, located in the oral cavity between floor of mouth and palatal surface. Important functions of this important function is, you can see here, taste, speech, mastication, deglutition and cleansing of mouth. Next page, regarding the development of the epithelium. Regarding epithelium, anterior 2/3 tongue epithelial portion derived from first branchial arch and second branchial arc. First branchial arc, typically it has two lingual swellings. Two lingual swellings, this word is important and it is asked in the questions UG and PG in both exams. And concern, you can see here, lingual nerve. Concern nerve of this region is lingual nerve. It is visible very clearly. First branchial arc with two lingual swellings, and concern nerve is lingual nerve. Second branchial arc, epithelium of the tongue of anterior 2/3 portion develops from this second branchial arc and first branchial arc. Second branchial arc concerned nerve is chorda tympani nerve. Now come over the posterior 1/3 region. This develops from the epithelium of this portion develops from the third branchial arc, especially from hypobranchial eminence is there in the third branchial arc. Hypobranchial eminence, and concerned nerve is glossopharyngeal nerve. Regarding fourth branchial arc, it is the posterior most portion of the tongue. Posterior most portion of the tongue. This portion is related with the vagus nerve. Now you can see the developmental stage here. And branchial arches are well seen here. First branchial arc, second branchial arc, third branchial arc and fourth branchial arc, as well as in both figures. First branchial arc, second branchial arc, third branchial arc and fourth branchial arc. Different parts of the tongue, epiglottic region and fovea and your foramen cecum. All these regions, epithelium of this region developed from these arches. Now come at next slide. You can see here where you see here first, second, third and fourth region. This is the intrauterine life face and pharynx. Mesenchymal origin is from these areas. Now come in the next slide. Development of muscles of the tongue. Muscles of the tongue develops from the occipital myotomes, and concerned nerve is hypoglossal nerve. Third one, development of connective tissue of the tongue. concern is developed from the local mesenchyme. Now parts of the tongue. Now regarding the parts of the tongue, you can see here the parts of the tongue. First, anterior most portion is tip of the tongue. Second, body, dorsal surface and ventral surface. And third one is base of the tongue. Base of the tongue. Tongue is fixed at its base and freely. It is free around tip and body. Only fixed in the oral cavity at base, and through base all important nerves and vessels. Some directly comes and enters the muscles of extrinsic muscles of tongue, but intrinsic muscles and important vessels. Blood vessels comes through this base. Base actually we can say this is the hilum of the tongue. We can say it is not properly acting as hilum as it acts in the hilum of lung and other viscerals, because every vessels and nerves enters only through the hilum, but here it is not so 100%. So come in the next slide. Dorsum of the tongue. It is more important. I can show you clearly the dorsum of tongue with specific features. Dorsal surface of the tongue is divided into two parts, two surfaces, 2/3 anteriorly and 1/3 posteriorly by a linear line. From centrally it runs forward and laterally. It makes an angle in the middle of central part of the tongue at the junction of anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3. This place, you can see this place, and your sulcus terminalis is here. Sulcus terminalis is here, and this pit at the angle of this sulcus terminalis, it is known as foramen cecum. It has importance in the developmental stage because from this cecum diverticulum is there, which descends downward, and thyroid develops from here. Thyroid gland develops from here, from the pit. Thyroglossal duct, it descends downward and divides into two and forms the two lobes of thyroid gland. After birth, it doesn't remain patent, it's obliterated. But in the condition when it remains patent, it makes a continuation tunnel, one tunnel in between posterior part of the tongue to the thyroid gland. Due to patency of this duct, any secretion makes a swelling in front of the neck that is known as thyroglossal cyst. While discussing the clinical aspect of tongue, I will show you the thyroglossal cyst and its site. Next slide. See here. Dorsum of the tongue, you can see here. It is clear visible, and this one is sulcus terminalis. Foramen cecum is very well visible, and different parts of the tip of the tongue is here, body is here, and margin is here. And different types of lingual papillae are distributed all over the tongue surface, dorsal surface of the tongue. As for example, violet papillae, also known as circumviolet papillae. It is of largest size, 7 to 12 in numbers, cylindrical, just anterior to the sulcus terminalis. In this region, taste buds are embedded in the parenchyma. In details, you have already learned in the histological classes. And all over the tongue, you can see here the follicles. See here the follicles, different follicles here. See here, foliate papillae, violet papillae, and fungiform papillae here, just you are seeing here, and filiform papillae here. It is well visible. Then come the next slide. Just observe here, lingual papillae, fungiform papillae, filiform papillae distribution, and these are the taste buds embedded in this parenchyma. Taste buds are there, it is well visible. Now come in the next slide. You can see very well here. I can zoom. See here, these are the taste buds. Taste buds here, taste buds here. These are taste buds. Taste buds are arranged in different manner with the different shape of the papillae over the dorsum of the tongue. Come in the next slide. Your fungiform papillae, it is numerous and bright red spots around tip and margin. Taste buds are present. Filiform papillae, it is numerous and thread-like cornified apices over palatine part, dorsum of the tongue, and also around the margin of the tongue. Regarding all three papillae located at anterior third of the tongue, nerve supply is very important. It is frequently asked in the examinations. Nerve of coda tympani is the nerve of taste of anterior 2/3 of the tongue, except violet papillae. This question is asked. Nerve supply, nerve of the taste of anterior 2/3 of the tongue is coda tympani nerve, except violet papillae. Violet papillae is supplied by the posterior to 1/3 part. Taste and sensation is covered by the glossopharyngeal nerve. Also, it supplies the violet papillae, which is situated in the anterior 2/3 part of the tongue. You can see here, coda tympani, glossopharyngeal nerve. Test is of taste and sensation for posterior third of the tongue, including it supplies violet papillae. Very good. Come to the next session. You can see here very well different nerves, different papillae. You can see fungiform papillae, foliate papillae, violet papillae, and epiglottis. You can see here epiglottic region. Anterior surface, some area of the anterior surface of this epiglottic epithelium, it receives vagus nerve. See here, it is receiving vagus nerve, and rest part posterior 1/3 receives glossopharyngeal. Is branches. You can see here, well visible. And anterior 2/3 it receives nerve coda tympani or facial nerve branch of. You can see here different branching. So it is very well visible, the nerve supply of the taste bud and epithelium of the tongue. Now come over the muscles of the tongue. Muscles of the tongue. muscles of the tongue. It has two group of muscles, extrinsic group of muscles and intrinsic group of muscles, or each 4 in number. Your intrinsic muscles are 4, that they are superior longitudinal muscle, inferior longitudinal muscle. You can see in the picture, you can see here, you can see here, you can see here. Observe, these are the superior longitudinal group of muscles, superior longitudinal group of muscles, superior longitudinal group, inferior longitudinal group of muscle, superior longitudinal group of muscles, and inferior longitudinal muscles, inferior longitudinal muscle. In between you can see here you can see here, these are the transverse and vertical group of intrinsic muscles of the tongue. Now come over the extrinsic group of muscles. This muscle is styloglossous, and one along with this muscle is comes from the palate to the tongue, that is palatoglossal muscle. One muscle, hyoid bone, is here, hyoglossus. Hyoid bone is here. This is hyoid bone. This is your mandible, anterior-inferior part, genicular. One muscle is here, that is hyoglossus, and this muscle is genioglossus. Hyoglossus, genioglossus, styloglossus, and not seen in this, but along with this is the palatoglossal, and intrinsic muscles are here all arranged. Superior longitudinal, inferior longitudinal, transverse and vertical. Now, what are the function of intrinsic muscle? It is frequently asked in the examination. Always remember function of the intrinsic group of muscles. Regarding the superior longitudinal muscle, it shortens the tongue and makes the dorsum concave. It shortens the tongue and makes dorsum concave. Inferior longitudinal shortens the tongue and makes dorsum convex. Transverse muscles, contraction of transverse muscles, they narrow and elongates the tongue, while vertical group of intrinsic muscles with contraction, it broadens and makes the tongue flattened. Nerve supply of this region is 12th cranial nerve except palatoglossus, which is supplied by the 11th cranial nerve. It is important. So come the next slide, you can see here all nerves. This is tongue. Resting here, you can see here lingual nerve, and penetrating the concerned muscle, hypoglossal nerve you can see, and one submandibular ganglia you can see here very clearly, and other muscle. So come in the next slide. Now you can see here the nerves, very clear nerve. Chorda tympani nerve you can see here, chorda tympani nerve, chorda tympani nerve. This is facial nerve, branch of facial nerve, supplying the different regions of the tongue, muscles of extrinsic group of muscles of tongue. Now come over the next slide. Arterial supply of the tongue. It is very clear. It is readable. You can read. Lingual artery, branch of external carotid artery. It supplies the tongue. And second one, tonsillar artery. Third one is ascending pharyngeal artery. Especially tonsillar artery and ascending pharyngeal artery, they supply base or root of the tongue region. Venous supply, Deep lingual vein is the main vein. Deep lingual vein is the main vein of the tongue, and it is well visible in the inferior surface of tongue. It has clinical importance. It will be dealt later on. And other veni communicantis from lingual vein, which ends in the common facial vein, finally drains into internal jugular vein. Now come over the lymphatic drainage of the tongue. See here, submental group of lymph nodes, submental group of lymph nodes, the submental group, submandibular group, and other groups of lymph node here. You can very easily see. The lymphatic drainage is from tip of the tongue into the submental lymph nodes bilaterally, but remainder anterior 2/3 part drains into submandibular unilaterally, and few lymph nodes of the region may drain bilaterally. From posterior 1/3 of the tongue, jugulo-omohyoid group of lymph nodes, venous drainage into it bilaterally. Come over the next slide. Regarding clinical aspect of the tongue, it is more important. I can zoom. You can see here. You can see here. Size of the tongue size may be different. Maybe tongue will be shorter than normal, maybe thicker and larger than normal. This state is microglossia or macroglossia. Some upon in almost all the developmental stages, tip of tongue is free, but it is not free in all cases. Now come over the clinical pictures. You can see this picture. This is a typical case of tongue tie. Frenulum is attached anteriorly up to the tip of tongue. So this child cannot protrude his tongue completely free out of oral cavity. Hence, utteration and articulation of words is affected. This is very important, very simple condition. It has surgical maneuver. And now different ulcerative lesions over the tongue. You can see here. You can see here tongue tie, tongue tie, tongue tie. This is a very typical picture. If child wants to protrude his tongue, it is obstructed by the complete protrusion, and there pit can be visualized. You can easily see the pit over the anterior portion of the tip of the tongue. He is unable to protrude his tongue. Now you can see here in this case also. You can see here also. It is clear? Now come in the next slide. You can see different conditions like aphthous, thrush, and different STD diseases, syphilitic, anemic conditions, and due to disturbance in the flora of the gut, there is deficiency of some vitamins, or there are some patches over the tongue with ulcerative lesions. It is well visible here. See here. You can see here. You can observe here. You can observe ulcerative lesions. You can observe here. You can observe here. This is the different ulcers over the tongue. Now important next slide. You can see different carcinomatous changes. Usually carcinomatous changes maximum occurs around the margin of the tongue. So sharp margin also it produces ulcer. Prolonged ulcer around the margin is dangerous. That may turn into carcinomatous growth if there is tobacco stimulation, tobacco chewing. that causes usually carcinoma around the margin of the tongue. Here you can see carcinomatous growth, cauliflower. You can see here. You can see here. You can see here. These are the carcinomatous stages of the tongue. Now regarding the nerve paralytic lesions of the lung. Injury to the nerve, any injury or damage of the nerve may lead to involve the different nerves and involving the tongue. As for example, hypoglossal nerve. If there is paralysis of this involvement of this nerve, palsy of the tongue will be of the same side. It is very hypoglossal nerve is involved, then palsy of the tongue muscle will be of the same side. It is if infranuclear lesion, then hemiatrophy of the tongue of the same side, and muscular twitching may be present there. Muscular twitching of the tongue muscle may be present there. In motor neuron disease, no treatment available at this stage. If motor neuron disease is established in any patient, no treatment at all, it is fatal. Syringomyelia, it is of infranuclear type lesion. Now come over the supranuclear lesion. Hypoglossal nerve is involved, then palsy will be without wasting of the tongue muscles. There is no wasting of the tongue muscles. And pseudobulbar, as for example, pseudobulbar paralysis, tongue becomes stiff, movement is restricted, articulation is restricted, and clear utteration pronunciation of the words will be restricted. Voice will be changed. So defective articulation due to the as for example in the pseudobulbar palsy, and involvement of hypoglossal nerve is found in tongue. In megaloblastic hernia, I told earlier, different ulcerative patches over the tongue like geographic tongue is known as, in especially megaloblastic anemia, glossitis is there, stomatitis may be there, and atrophy of the filiform papillae, and tongue surface becomes smooth. Jaundice can be very clearly visible. Early detection and estimation of it is more than 18 gram %, 12 gram %. We can assess through the blood vessels which are very prominent in the ventral surface of the inferior surface of the tongue when tongue is retracted upward. It is well visible. And earlier I have told you the thioglossal cyst is a developmental anomaly when the diverticulum descends down from the foramen cecum, that is thyroglossal duct. It remains patent. See here in this case, swelling in this child at anterior aspect, or anterolateral aspect, it is visible here. This is thyroglossal cyst. This is a clinical condition. It has surgical maneuver. It can be corrected. So finally come over the say of your tongue. Previously we have dealt with the nose. Have you ever heard the sound of nose? Have you observed? The nose is telling and asking some expectations. He has expectations from you. I can say ठीक से पढ़ना है. अगर ठीक से नहीं पढ़ोगे एग्जामिनर के सामने नाक कट जाएगी. इसे बचा के रखो, कीमती चीज़ है. और have you ever heard the sound of your tongue which gives you voice? You have never heard. I will let you hear. जुबान क्या कहती है हमसे? वो ये कहती है कि सत्यम ब्रूयात प्रियम ब्रूयात न ब्रूयात सत्यम अप्रियम। सच बोलो और आसान तरीके से बोलो, अच्छे से बोलो, प्रियम हो, अप्रियम नहीं हो, वो सुनने में अच्छा लगे और इंसान जुड़ जाए, दिल टूटे नहीं, देश भी चल जाएगा, जोड़ने से चलेगा परिवार और देश, समाज बच जाएगा। सच भी बोलें लेकिन इतने बुरे अंदाज से बोले इंसानों के दिल टूट जाएंगे। और फिर अच्छा बोलना तो हमें जानवरों से सीखना चाहिए। उस कविता को याद दिला दें कि कागा काको हरत है कोयल काको देत, मीठे बचन सुनाई के जग अपनों कर लेत। अच्छे से बोलना सीखें। फाइनल से ऑफ योर टंग, जुबान कहती है हमसे कि इंसान फिसलता है पैर से भी, बहुत ज़्यादा बकबक करने वाला अपनी ज़ुबान से भी, लेकिन ये गौर तलब है कि इंसान ज़ुबान से ज़्यादा फिसलता है पैरों के बनिस्बत। पैरों से फिसलने वाला संभल सकता है, ज़ुबान से फिसलने वाला इंसान संभलता नहीं है। टेक केयर and goodbye. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.